Assalamu alaikum everyone, welcome to my channel. My name's HUMNA and I create videos connected to art, healing and spirituality. Through Ramzan this year I've been doing Naqsh, which is Naqsh al-Ruh, meaning we're trying to connect to that what is within us, the mark of Allah, the essence of Allah, the light of Allah that is inside of us. So many times we get distracted by outside people, outside influences, and it's so important to come back home to our own selves. And through these templates that are available on my Patreon, if you want to download them and work on them, you can use these videos as kind of like a meditation, because I'll be working on them with you and guiding you one by one. And these pieces are actually inspired by the names of Allah or something, an ayat or something that I get guided to in my meditation. So I hope you enjoy the sessions and they bring you clarity and closeness to Allah. The reason we feel so disconnected with ourselves or on the planet or lost, or just whatever it is, these emotions that we feel, when they're channeled into connecting with Allah, there's a very profound sense of peace that comes over us. So even if you're anxious and you sat down doing art connected to Allah, it automatically shifts your energy and brings you into the present moment, and you start looking for Allah not outside of you but actually within you. And as you create a single line, or you notice the colors or the way you're writing or the way you are creating, how the water spills, how the ink makes a mark on the paper, all of these things, when you consciously do them connected to Allah as a way of He giving you a chance to look at these things, and be reminded that if it wasn't His will, you could not, first of all, landed on this video. Secondly, you could not have been inspired to do art as ibadat. Your hands wouldn't move if He didn't want you to. And so all of these things sort of gradually help you build your taqwa. And basically the reason that we need our taqwa, we need our iman, we need ourselves to be so strong in our faith, is because we are moments, right? We believe in Allah, but we generally get distracted or attached into this world, and we start going after things that are of this world. And so Allah gives us these little pockets of ibadat that we can do through our day, and He doesn't want us to sort of just give up on life and become a monk. He wants you to connect to Him in this dunya, through the dunya, and through your internal ruh. So with that thought, I'm going to start the session. The ayat I got today was, I'll read it out for you guys, and it might have a message in for you. It's from the Surah 39, and the ayat is 41. It says here, "We send down the book for people, it has the truth," which means that everything and anything that you need to know in life to live on the planet in a way that is pleasing to your Allah is in this book. This book is sent down from the heavens. It's not a book that is going to just be giving you instructions for this world, for how to live in this dunya, but it is actually a book that helps you get ready for your akhirat and focus on both those aspects, that what you will do when you go back, and that what you are doing right here. So it's a book of the heavens that's come down for us so that we can be guided back home, kind of like a PDF map that we've got. So it says here, "We send down the book for people, it has the truth." It's got everything in this that will bring you closer to your Allah. It will help you connect to your truth. It will make you say the right things in the right way so that your Allah is happy with you. Whoever follows its guidance will benefit himself. You see, the book that came down, which Allah saying has the truth, is not for Allah. It's basically for you and for me and for the humanity to learn from, to connect with, to reflect on, to sit with it and get to know what it is that Allah is saying to us. Now, we can't really fully grasp the whole of Quran because not everybody is that, capable of, and then some people are, mashallah, say alhamdulillah, and we can learn from them when they guide us. But on our personal effort, personal level, we should always make an effort. We should is I don't like the word should. We need to make an effort to get to know the book on our own also. Of course, get guidance and watch whatever it is that we watch these days on YouTube to get other people speaking about Quran, because that's also inspirational. But picking up the Quran, connecting to it yourself, it has a very different way of coming closer to Allah. So he says, whoever follows its guidance will benefit himself, and whoever goes astray will fail himself. So it's not, you're not doing a favor by getting to know the truth. You're not doing Allah Mia any kind of like, I'm doing it for Allah. There's nothing that you are doing for Allah. This is a book that is for you to come closer to Allah, because you are in need of His guidance, His love, His mercy, His protection, and His provision, and all that you are in need of. You aren't their caretaker. So those people who don't listen to you, or you're telling them something about Allah, you've passed the message, you've told them about it, but you're not their caretaker. You're not going to take care of how they behave to Quran, right? Your time, your thing was just to pass on the message, give them a remembrance note, or a kind of like a just remind them of Allah, and that's pretty much all you're meant to be doing. You can't say, oh, I reminded you of Allah, did you do this, did you make that, did you do zakat, did you pray? No, you just guide them to remember Allah through how they choose to, in the way that is pleasing to Allah the most, doing the fards and everything. God takes away the soul of people dying and the souls of the living during their sleep. What Allah wants us to know is, recognize that first of all, your time here is very limited. Secondly, your time here belongs to Allah. So He chooses who He sends back every single night, and He chooses who He keeps up and whose time is up and take the souls away. So remember your death every day, meaning remember your akhirat every single day. Analyze before you sleep, what good have you done? If you die in your sleep, how are you going to be getting up to meet your Allah? Are you prepared? What are you thinking about before you sleep? All worldly affairs, or you're thinking about, if I don't wake up, how am I going to meet my Allah? What condition of taqwa will I have? What's the condition of my heart? So is your heart filled with regret, resentment, anger, sadness, or whatever when you sleep? Or it is in gratitude, peace, love, joy, compassion, and forgiveness for yourself and for others. So connect to yourself every single day, for Allah is the one who gives the soul the time to come back, or is gone on the other side. And this is just to show you what power He has over you. He owns you, He controls you, He is in control of every single heartbeat. So it can just shut any day, any night, right? And it doesn't have to be just night. What Allah wants you to be aware of is your akhirat. So you can be called any second. So be ready for that akhirat, because the moment you sleep, you don't know if you're going to wake up or not. So sleep like you are going to die, and be in gratitude every single night. Take account of what you've done through the day. Connect to Allah and be grateful for all His blessings, all His teachings, all the miracles. Just the fact that you are breathing, you're able to see. Just be in gratitude, no matter how your day or life has been. When you lie down on your bed, make sure that you are in gratitude for whatever has come your way. He keeps hold of those whose time of death has come, and sends back others, so they will die at their fixed time. There is a time that has been written for us when we don't know about it. So because we don't know about it, and He knows, He's watching that our time is coming closer. But we're not shifting, we're not changing, we're not doing the right things by Him. We're not doing the things that focus on Him and make Him the priority. So Allah wants us to focus on Him and make Him the priority. So He's telling us that every night when you sleep, and that could be, by the way, every time you wake up in the morning also, that when you wake up or when you go to sleep, understand that your every breath, every heartbeat is under my control, right? And you have limited time. So don't take life for granted. Value what I've given it and live it in a way that it is in accordance to this truth that He has gifted us. Alhamdulillah. In this are lessons for thinkers. Thinkers mean people who have deep connection with their whole being, like, so they think from their mind but they also feel from their hearts, right? They're thinkers, they're alive people, they question and they look for answers, they're seeking Allah, they're connected to Allah, they're communicating with Allah. They're not just like saying, oh, blah blah blah, right? And they're not just like accumulating knowledge. They are people who think, like, who sit there and go into zones of speaking to Allah and connecting Him. And for those who think, there are lessons, like when you are going to value what you have, the sleep, the waking up, the life, the book, the Quran, the ones that will benefit, the ones that won't, life, basically, those who will contemplate on that what Allah has gifted us and how much control He has in our life and how grateful we need to be for all the blessings He's given us, then we will be the ones who are the thinkers, right? There's lessons for you in everything. And sometimes we forget, that there that everybody is on their own journey. Everybody has a way of looking or finding or going towards Allah. So to say that your way is amazing and my way isn't amazing, that's not the point. The point is, I go to do my ibadat through this kind of activity which gives me peace, but there could be somebody else who might just be walking on the grass and doing their tasbih and connecting to Allah through the wind, and that's okay too. There could be somebody going in masjid and just praying constantly and doing the sajdas, that's okay too. Everybody has their own path which Allah is guiding every single human being towards Him, closer to Him. So I don't have the capability or the capacity or the I should not be desiring to judge other people based on what I think is the right way of going closer to Allah. When I started doing art as ibadat, one of the things I realized was that not a lot of people were open to this. What is art of ibadah? There was this thing like, what was that? And for me, this was the only truth that there was. And I'm going to use this grid to explain how we need to value people in our lives, but we need to also value who we are. So when you look at the grid, there are two big flowers and then the small ones, and then there are people here, right? So imagine these are like different people and they have a different energy in your life. So one brings happy, joy, friendly, compassion, whatever, like happy memories. Somebody comes in with a little bit of negativity. How do you make that them also be beautiful in your artwork, right? So work with different people, thinking about different energies in your life, closer or far away, doesn't really matter. Whoever comes to your mind, who you want to be grateful about. So even the people who are negative in your life are actually by Allah. So when He wants us to focus on our sleep, on our life, on our death, and He's saying that souls will go away and souls will not come back, imagine that the person who might have hurt you or you've hurt them, it might not be there tomorrow, right? So I hope not, but I'm just saying, so why carry the grudge? So if you heal your energy and think of them and created a flower that represents their energy, and you send out forgiveness, you send out compassion to these people, what you're doing is you're transmuting your energy from negative to positive, thinking about them. Well, as for me, I'm going to start with this flower, and this is the flower that I'm going to represent my own self. And for me, I've always been a very, I'm going to put some more light. I hope that there's not much. Oh, my lamp just broke, I think. For real, it broke. Okay. My lamp just decided to die. Sorry about this, guys. Okay. So I hope this is okay. I'll work it out tomorrow. Anyway, this is something I'm learning. How Allah when he's with us and everything is from him, then the breaking of the lamp is not stressing me out. What really means is that I know in my heart that number one, I'll try fixing it. Number two, if I can't fix it, I can get another one. So there's no lack mentality. And when we have lack in our life, or an understanding of, oh my God, the lamp broke, we unnecessarily react in a very high energy, waste a lot of energy. So when we say, oh, lamp's broken, acha acha, okay, let me just see what I can do. Okay, so you kind of don't give something that's broken too much energy. And one of the things I'm learning is you don't need to react all the time. You can just be okay, just be more responsive. And that really has a very beautiful way of, for me, I think personally, do let me know in the comments if that resonates with you at all. And if you feel the same way, that when you're not connected to Allah that much, or have closeness with him, when things break, or some bad thing happens, or you lose a job or a relationship, whatever happens that is a little shaky in dunya level, earlier, when you don't have taqwa, or you don't have connection with Allah, you kind of panicked and you become anxious. But when you actually truly have Allah with you, and you know that the lamp could not be with you in your reality if Allah didn't want it to, and maybe it was time for me to get myself a nice new lamp, so this one broke so that I could get a nice one for myself, right? So rather than being attached to something or some experience, we can learn to kind of say, okay, this has happened, and how do we move forward from here. So coming back to the flower, this is the flower I'm representing myself with, and I'm gonna then go on doing this depending how long the video goes. I don't want to make it too long, these ones, because these are like little snippets. I want to just share with you something at the end of the day before you sleep, so that you feel closer to your Allah. Now, I always say this, the grid is basically there to hold you. This is dunya, this is something that's been given to you. But as a creative being, you can use the grid, or you can choose not to use the grid. And step by step, as you see how I will be creating, you will be able to connect to it also in your own creative way. Now, for me, I've always been very curious about life, and about my path, about why am I here. I've always asked these questions like, what am I doing? How is me just doodling for hours gonna make a difference on this planet? Am I even useful to be here? And Allah, who is today's name was Malik, and one of my really beautiful friend told me it's not Malik, it's Malik. And I felt so empowered in that moment, that I don't have an ego to be correct, to feel like, oh my God, somebody corrected me, and I should feel like, oh my God, I didn't know this. It's such a it's just a it's such a beautiful feeling to say I'm still open, and I'm still open to learning, because I don't really know most of the things. And when somebody tells me, it's like I'm being held, and they are sent by Allah to me to help me even expand further. And so it just makes the relationship so much based on Allah and him giving me this person in my life, rather than me feeling insecure about them, oh, they know more than I do, or something like that. So it's so important to look at the relationships that we have, and be always open to see what is it that this person can teach me. And most times people don't say things because they're mean or anything. They say it so that you can be improved. But because so many of us are not open to criticism, we kind of look at it as like, oh my God, they're saying I don't know how to do it. I mean, there's a polite way of saying things, and there's a not so polite way of saying things. I get all the time be told about the way I write. I make like incredible amount of spelling mistakes, and I get to left, right, top, bottom, everybody tells me about them. And I kind of now think of them as like a way of people just helping me become better. And I look at it as like, okay, they're able to read what I still want to say, and it's okay, I'm still communicating. So for me, curiosity was a big one. to understand who I was. I prayed to Allah many, many times. Allah, Mia, make me a good human being, because I think that is something that I always felt that I wasn't. Even though looking back, as I've done my inner child healing and journeyed with my past, I actually think I was quite a cool child, quite a cool kid. But for some reason, in the moment when I was growing up, I actually didn't think I was so very cool. And so my goal was in life to not be rich and famous. Um, there's always this thing, do you want to be loved or do you want to be famous? And I always said I want to be loved, because I think that was the part of me that always craved, to be loved. And then the question is, loved for what, right? So you start doing things that make you lovable. Oh, she makes me laugh. Oh, she looks so pretty. So you think attention is love. When somebody gives you attention, you think, oh, that's love, because it's all trauma bonding, like that kind of issues. But in reality, I had totally forgotten that if and when I connect to Allah, He's the one who's already created my soul. And every single human being has a soul that is pure, that is clean, that is incredibly beautiful, powerful. But for me, it was all about looks. It was all about, how do I make people like me? How do I make people love me? And I think that was what I needed to heal. And that's been my journey through the names of Allah, through Quran, through my art. I used to be like, oh, people like me because I do good henna. And then I would, people like me because I do good painting. So it was always like, it's not me that they like, it's they like what I do, right? And that was such a lacking sort of like feeling that I had within me. And so I tried to make myself do things that would be good, and I've forgotten that I was started worshipping them. They became my Malik and not my Allah. So there was no Allah in the picture for me when I was in my young age. And you see, I'm making these circles here. So this is me feeling very isolated in a room full of people. Yes, if this is the room full of people, I'm quite isolated within here. So you see how the language just comes. I'm not thinking what I'm drawing. I'm just allowing myself to have a play. And as the story builds, as the symbols sort of get created, there's a language. I think it's very cryptic in my head. So when I start creating these patterns, language starts appearing in my heart. And I'm basically creating what I'm feeling. So I'm not just creating because I want to create something pretty. I'm creating what I feel inside me. And there's a difference in the creative power completely changes. Now I'm looking at these petals and I'm seeing how I reached out to so many people so that they'll see me. But in all honesty, I really didn't see myself. Because you see, if I was always trying to act and pretend to want to be loved, I was always looking outside of me so that somebody would love me and I don't have to love myself, right? And so it was always somebody can help me love me, because I'm not seeing anything worth loving in myself. Turning back, it kind of sounds funny, but at the moment, like when it was happening, I don't think it was that funny. It was quite painful. But here I am reaching out to everybody. And as I'm reaching out, I was spreading a lot of, I was building these boundaries within myself. The more I went out, the more I felt lonely within me. And so these are like symbolic to my hiding myself inside. And let's make the hiding a little bit more hiding. So this is my heart here, right? And as a protection from dunya, I started hiding myself. So I'm going to hide myself here. There we are. Check out the walls. show people what they want to say, wear that what they think I look good in, speak the way that is, impressive to everybody, behave in the most professional way, kill your soul and do a job 9 to 5, get your grades to make others happy, keep on trying to be your best forever. And there is a sense of darkness that comes over you when you're constantly trying to make sense of this dunya. And here we are in the dungeons. We are feeling all protected away from dunya, but then truly hidden, so that I put a mask on so that what you see of me is presentable, it's lovable. I'm not loud. I speak in a way that you love me, because the moment I get loud, you won't be able to handle. So let me spare you to have any emotional issues with me, so that you're accepting of myself. So hide that part of me that's a bit unacceptable by you, just so that I choose you over myself. And that's the kind of dialogue I had as a child. Now, when I'm looking at myself today, as I've done the inner part now, I'm going to now shift my energy into seeing how my Allah sees me now. Right? So I've done this part thinking about all that stuff that I shared. Now I'm going to go into this portion and think like, hang on, Allah sees me as a rainbow. Rainbow has so many colors, so many shades. Rainbow has so much potential. Sometimes she spreads yellow, sometimes she spreads blue, sometimes she spreads green, but all the colors come together and she chooses which one she wants to be. So I am growing. Notice how I'm breaking the grid now. Like the grid's not holding me, the people aren't holding me, nobody's defining me. I break away from that what I was given, because that what people want me to do, I no more want to be that. I do not want to be a slave to that what people think I need to be. I'm not doing the things that is acceptable by you because you can stay happy. I'm doing the things that are pleasing to my Allah, for you no more are my Malik. There you go. Now that mistake, so-called mistake, is what guided me to darken my strength and say, hang on, I actually like this. I'm going to darken my self so that I am so strong internally in my love for my Allah that none of that bakwas is going to come out into my new energy. I'm going to block me from my inner world, because now that I've gone back, seen myself, I've healed myself, I know who I am not that person anymore. So there you go. You go back, you change your past, you bring a new narrative, you say a new story, and boom, you become a new person. You see, people talk about manifestation, people talk about whatever they want to, do this, law of attraction. I personally got really into it, astrology, palmistry, tarot card reading, all of this jazz, right? I loved it, I'm not gonna lie. It really helped me at the time that I needed it to. But then there came a time where when Allah came into the picture, all of it just went out the window. I still pick cards for myself, or thinking of Allah and get guidance, but not like guidance to tell my future, but to pick my energy in this moment. Now, I've blocked all negativity or anything that I feel is not great for me in my new life. What am I going to do next? I'm going to break the grid even further, right? So there are these rainbows that are sitting down below, which I know they are there. I know Allah see potential in me. What am I going to do with them? I am going to give myself the stability and take actions towards that what will help me become a person that is a slave of Allah. I will work on not having any fear, for there cannot be love where there is fear. I am not going to allow myself to feel unsafe in my Allah's dunya, for all that He has created is for me. I am safe in this world. I am protected and I'm guided by His light. There is no way that anything bad can reach me, because I know that He is the one sending me things. So even though it might hurt a little, I might feel like it's pain, but that pain comes to me so I can be purified. I fill my heart with the understanding. I'm changing the side now. I'm filling my heart with the understanding that nothing that my Allah does is happening for any other reason but to help me come closer to Him. So if something that didn't go according to my plan, it was because He wanted to test me how I'm going to behave. Am I going to give in to a reaction and start acting silly, or give up or lose hope? No, because now I am strong in myself and I know that He is the one holding me, right? So now those are like lines with certainty. Now this one's fun. I do not depend. Now this is coming from the inside strength, like a lion. So if you think of lions that are coming from inside out, think of strength. I am dependent only on my Allah, for He alone is the one who sends me and gives me things. He is my provider. He is my protector. He is my guide. He is my love. He is my healer. He is my love. Again. There. Now, of course, you could be at a different stage. I'm just sharing what's coming through intuitively. There's no like, you have to follow exactly what I'm doing. You're going on your own pace. I'm going on my own pace. What's beautiful is that in this moment, we are connected to creating something beautiful in remembrance of our Allah. We are doing ibadat with our hands, with our eyes, with our body, with our listening, with our seeing, with our speaking. Everything in this moment is about Him. It's not about what you're creating, it's about what's getting created within you. It is He who is allowing you to see the color blue or pink or yellow or green. It is He who is allowing you to be able to speak in the language of your soul. Patterns and symbols are the language of our soul. When we understand geometry, we actually understand the inside world of our being. Now, when I created these top lines, I want to go into a deeper space. When all I depend on is Him, I know I am safe, secure, and complete. Notice the inside circles here were hollow. Notice that this one is 1, because I am feeling secure. Because, look at this, because the line is there. My focus is Him, and so He is holding me and I'm feeling secure from the top and the bottom, from the seen and the unseen. You see there's no line here so far. This is empty space, so this is the seen. So in the seen world, He's got me, and in the unseen world, He's got me, right? That is a true moment. So it wasn't that I wanted to be a good human being. I wanted to be a good human being for my Allah. And there's a difference in that. And I might not be a good human being for people, and that's pretty much okay. I've come to the acceptance that I'm not for everybody, and that's a beautiful space to be in. I'm not here to please or serve you. Now that was something that I'm getting so far. I really hope you enjoy this session and you continue doing your grid in whatever form and way. If you do manage to do it, share it with me. What I like to do is leave this one outer layer white, just because that's me saying that if this is me in this very moment, I am held by his light. I am guided by his light. So I usually keep this space empty. And then on this one, I'm going to write the today's name, which is Ya Malik al Mulk. Malik al Mulk, Ya Malik, and Ya Malik al Mulk. Or it is Malik al Mulk or something like that. But it's the two names. So Ya Malik and Ya Malik al Mulk. Ya Malik and Ya Malik al Mulk. So that's what I'm going to be, inshallah ta'ala, doing on this thing. Now I would highly recommend, while you're doing this, listen to something soothing, listen to something that is connected to Allah. When I created these grids, I put in a lot of energy in them, a very high vibe energy in them. So they're not just, grids that you see, oh yeah, whatever, flowers, let's color in, or all that sort of stuff. No. These grids were created with the intention to serve Allah. So no matter where you are, who you are, when you print them and use them, they will always be a reminder of Ramzan. They will always be a reminder of your Allah, and they will be always a reminder and a space where you can just sit and have a conversation with your heart connected to your Allah. So these are very sacred grids, and you can share them with your children if you want, but do not use them for commercial purposes. Other than that, please share them, connect to them, create on them, and if you do use them, tag me when you share it on the social media, so that I'm also able to see your beautiful creations and how you use them and how you use to build your own confidence, your own language, your own patterns, and as your soul unfolds on it, I also want to see you dance, shine brightly into this world, and bring more love of Allah together with me, inshallah ta'ala, through art as ibadat. Now if you'd like to follow me on Instagram, all the details are down below. If you want to book me for a one-to-one spiritual guidance, that's also possible. Contact me through Instagram. Instagram is generally where I'm more alive. Everywhere else I'm like dead. If you want to go on journeys to heal your 7 chakras, connect to Allah Mia's names, and paint with me through the ayat of Quran, which completely changed my life, so that's something also available on my Patreon. You can go check that out. It's 7 days. When you join in, it's for free, so you can have a trial period, and then it will ask you that if you want to continue or not. But every time you pay me through Patreon, you're supporting my light to come into this world, and I'm really, really grateful to you that you give me this chance and you support me and you encourage me. And because as an artist, I think for me, your money, when you allow me to spread more light through my art, it is my Allah's light that I'm sharing with you all. So you help me keep my connection with my Allah and bring you more exercises, more healing, inshallah ta'ala. And please keep me in your duas. If you enjoyed the session, leave me a comment, connect with me, because I love to hear from you, and like, share, and subscribe with anybody you think can benefit from these sessions. I'm sending you lots of love, light, and peace, everyone. Enjoy, and look forward to seeing what you create. Take care. Allah Hafiz for today.